All right, fellas and females, if you're watching, as far as I know, it's only men that watch this channel. I'm back with another retro bodybuilding magazine. As you can see, this one is from January 1997. Muscle and Fitness. I started to say Muscle and Fiction. That's what we called it back when I worked my first personal training gig. Everybody called it Muscle and Fiction, but Muscle and Fitness. Grow with the Champs, Secret of the Olympia Winners, Fin, Ultimate Diet Drug or Dangerous Fad. Seven Secrets for Building Huge Arms, How to Eat for More Energy. All right, as far as this right here, 7 Secrets for Building Huge Arms. Any YouTuber, and there are a lot of them, any so-called fitness influencer or whatever, if they say they have a secret for building huge arms, they are full of shit. They're full of it. And they're either ignorant as hell or they're just purposely lying to you with just bold-faced lying, because there's no such thing, as I say all the time, it's genetic. 30 to 80% of muscular development is genetically predetermined. So there's that. All right, let me get off the soapbox. Open this sucker up. Next. How would you like to be over 27% stronger in the next 3 days? Oh boy. Glutamine effects, rather. I heard that they would give glutamine here. They would give glutamine to patients who were bedridden, like people in comas, because it definitely helps with muscle synthesis or protein synthesis. So if you're bedridden, or like I said, in a coma, they'll give you glutamine. I don't know if this is true or not. I just heard that years ago. It could just be BS, but arm yourself with Promax on pins and needles. A dejected Mike Matarazzo talks with Tom Dieters just moments after Mike found out he didn't make the top 10 at the Mr. Olympia. While he didn't quench his competitive appetite, he's in every way a champion. Is that Flex Wheeler? That looks like Flex there. Oscar De La Hoya. Yeah, man, Oscar De La Hoya was in 1997 was like a household name. He was like at least one of the faces of boxing. Yeah, in 1997, creatine became all the rage. But what it really did is your body produces creatine naturally. It's part of the creatine phosphate system. But what happens when you take it externally, among other things, is it increases interstitial leverage, which basically means it enables you to store more water in the muscles, which is why you end up with more size. It's just you're able to store more water in the muscle, and I wonder if it's glycogen as well. I'm not actually sure about that off the top of my head. It probably is glycogen as well, but it's largely just your muscles are able to store more water. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that there's studies that suggested that increased internal water storage was responsible for a lot of injuries when athletes would use it. But that's something I heard. You being in the fitness industry, you hear a lot of stuff. The other trainers talk about studies they heard, and a lot of this was back before the internet. You couldn't necessarily Google it, so I'm not sure about that, but nowadays you can just Google it. Dorian Yates. Yeah, man, he didn't have the best shape in the world, but he was dense and thick as hell with hard, grainy muscle. And his lats flared so much that it almost offset his thick, wide waist. But yeah, he never really had big biceps, which is, of course, like I said, genetic. All right, even a pharmaceutically enhanced bodybuilder can't change everything. He tried his ass off to make those biceps grow and ended up tearing a bicep. And in 1994, he still won the Olympia, which I think was unfair because I don't get how you win an Olympia with only one bicep. I think it should have gone to Sean Ray that year. But, Mike Menzer has some thick biceps. I think that's Mike Menzer. Looks like Mike Menzer. Forgotten exercises for biceps. I always like this one, the lion cable curl, but I don't get why he's raising his arms like that. I just don't get that. They should be in line with his trunk here, with his torso. But anyway. Biceps are easily one of the most overtrained muscles in the body. Guys just hammer the hell out of those biceps, and they already get hammered while doing pulling movements, pull downs, pull ups, and rows and so forth. I like to tell people to skip biceps at least once a month. Like one body cycle per month, just skip biceps, maybe even twice a month. I mean, that way maybe you'll avoid tendonitis and bursitis and just generic overtraining. Because, man, our biceps get hammered. That's how I kept my elbows healthy. And this magazine came out in 1997. That's around the time when I learned that. And believe it or not, I actually read that in Muscle and Fitness magazine. That's one of the few good tips that they gave. You know, just skip the biceps sometimes, man. It's a good idea. Dorian Nasser, Kevin Levrone, Flex Wheeler. I wonder what would have become of, oh, my man Sean Ray. I wonder what would have become of Kevin Levrone if he trained year round. I heard that he would take months and months and months and months off. And maybe, you know, 6 months before a show, before the Olympia, he'd start training. You know, because he was such a freak. He grew really quickly. Again, that's, you never know if that's hearsay or not, but I've heard that for years. Kim Shavesky. Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't mean any disrespect, but I've said before, Kim Shavesky had a very manly face. I'm sure it had to be some side effect of the anabolic assistance. And I've seen other women, professional female bodybuilders, who just look like men. I mean, not just in the body, but their face started to look harsh and, like, you know, like hardened like a man. Very strange. Vince Taylor. What is this? What is this? The Masters Olympia or something? Yeah, Masters Olympia. All right. Top 7 ranked supplements your muscles crave in one nutritionally complete serving. There's Miss Manly Face. Look at that face, man. You tell me she doesn't look like a man. Jeez. Oh, no. No, sir. No, sir, buddy. Wow. Look at this. Looks like a man with a wig on. Wow. Wow. Yoga for bodybuilders. But, you know, I definitely incorporate yoga into some of what I do, although I don't consider myself a card-carrying yoga practitioner. But, you know, at least yoga doesn't destroy your joints, you know, like bodybuilding does. That stuff catches up to you, man. Oscar De La Hoya builds the strength behind the punch. Yeah, I spent like 3 years rehabbing a shoulder issue. You know, it came from years of bodybuilding. I mean, I never, you know, used the juice or competed, but, you know, during my younger days, I mean, my goal was to get as big as humanly possible. And I for a natural guy, I was pretty nasty, pretty big, pretty muscular, but it catches up to you. It really does. And that's something that no one wants to talk about. You know, and don't give me that bad form crap, because I'm a certified professional. I went to school for this. My form is picture perfect. I teach form. And, you know, if I can end up with shoulder issues and hip and back pain, anybody can. But I corrected it, all of it, through functional strength and mobility training, which is something else I'm very knowledgeable about. She's nice looking. So, yeah, and that's what ultimately saved me. And now I don't have any pain anymore. But you'll never catch me training like a bodybuilder again. I mean, I'm done with that shit. But, you know, still fascinating. But you can only do it for so long. Yeah, I'm almost done. I don't want this video to be too long. Weight gainer. Yeah, the thing is, train at home or join a gym. I say train at home. That's what I do. But the thing is, you can only do it for so long. And that's a fact. As far as all-out training for muscle size, you can only do it for so long. You know, and I hear stories about elderly people who are doing bodybuilding competitions in their late 70s and 80s. But that's because they didn't get started until they were 65. You know, if you've been bodybuilding since you were 20, your ass is not going to be competing in no competition when you're 80. You know, and if you do, it'll be painful because your joints will be jacked up. You know, your joints are not meant to last forever. That's what people don't understand. I don't want this video to be too long. These muscle and fitness magazines were thick. Still a considerable amount to go. Lou Ferrigno, personal one-on-one. Yeah, your joints aren't meant to last forever. You know, even if you don't do any hyper-aggressive, intense. Well, I have this. Even if you don't do hyper-aggressive, intense bodybuilding training, there will be some joint deterioration. That's just how it works. And if you keeping your joints healthy is a completely different science. And it's not easy to pull off. You know, it really isn't. Yeah, some of these are just repeats. I hope I'm not going too fast, but I'm at almost 20 minutes here. I know some of you guys tap out after a while when these videos get too long. But, you know, at this point, it's just largely a bunch of supplements and a word to our sponsors. Advertisements. I actually never tried weightlifting shoes before. I wonder if they make a difference. Yeah, I hope I'm not moving too fast, but I just don't want this to be too long. Man, these muscle and fitness magazines tend to be thick. This is about it. All right, so look at that. It's thick. All right. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. All right, and please like, share, comment, and subscribe, man. It makes a difference. And I will be back with more content and or information on the fitness industry, personal training, and strength training in general. PLA Mind and Body Works signing out. Thank you for watching.